Hey tribe, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Nephtara Grace. If you're new, welcome in. If you've been here before, welcome back. Gotta aura missed our way out of this. Oh my gosh, you guys, today is Monday, June, what the hell is today? It's Monday, June something. But Mercury stations retrograde today. Jupiter moves into Leo, and it's officially full moon energy. It was a full moon for me the past few nights, but I don't know how y'all roll, but anyway. So there's that. We're going to jump right into the energy. Announcements, updates, anything you need to know is going to be in the description box below. Check that out. I'm excited to do this reading. I didn't get to do a reading for you guys yesterday. Who is this? Raphael, Archangel Raphael coming through. I didn't get to do a reading for you guys yesterday. I was in Sweat Lodge yesterday. I'm like, what was I doing yesterday? I was in Sweat Lodge yesterday. It was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. I received a lot during Sweat Lodge. You know, usually in sweats, I am in the sweat for all the pores, all the doors, and I'm releasing. And this sweat, I was in the lodge for 2 pores, for 2 doors. And then I really had to leave the lodge, and I ended up finishing the sweat outside of the lodge. Now it's still, you know, hella hot outside, so I'm still sweating. And, you know, this lodge where I went with this brother's property, there's a fire right outside the lodge, and then there's the fire pit in the lodge, so it's plenty hot. Definitely still got my sweat on. But this particular sweat lodge, I was meant to receive more than I was meant to release. And that's funny. I'm the one who called the sweat lodge. You know, I met this brother at the ceremony, the sacred medicine ceremony recently. And I knew he'd had a lodge at his place. I just hadn't met him officially face to face, and I had never been to his place. So once I met him face to face, I said, hey, I have a lodge. How about sweat for full moon? Because I love a full moon sweat. And he said, yeah, sis, you know. And so he called around to the chef, the cook, and the fire keeper, and set up this beautiful sweat for Sunday, for yesterday. And again, I've been sweating for years. You know, I know how to attend ceremony, but yesterday was so different. I was really clear that I was meant to be in there for 2 doors, 2 pores, and then move outside the space and really share my energy inside and outside. What of course speaks to me is that liminal space that I'm usually in. This Lion Walker is a great Jedi, as you guys know. But I want to share with you something that I received once I came out of the lodge and was sitting. The other people stayed in the lodge for the final, you know, the rest of the ceremony, and I sat outside. But one of the things I received in sitting outside was the opportunity to honor one's self, to show up in every moment authentically the way that you are, to honor your own body's intuition, your own body's awareness, and to move according to that rather than according to the group. That was a really big message that I got out of the Sweat Lodge, a really big message that I received, and so I'll share with you guys here. And I didn't share with anybody in the lodge, you know, because it wasn't the appropriate space, but I feel like I meant to share it here. So I'm in the lodge, and if you guys have ever participated in Sweat Lodge, then you know what I'm talking about, and if you haven't, then may the mother smile upon you and invite you to a Sweat Lodge soon. So I'm in the lodge, and this is a smaller lodge, and the fire is quite hot, and it's okay. That's the lodge. But I kept feeling like something was trying to come up and out of me. Now, some of you may be like, oh yeah, Sweat Lodge, you're supposed to be releasing, but this is different. For the first time in my life, I couldn't breathe in the lodge. I could not breathe. And I was like, what is this? Now, I didn't panic because I'm body aware enough to not panic about anything. But I thought, this is wild. I can't breathe. I can't find a place to breathe in this lodge. And it got to the point twice where I was like, I gotta get out. I have to get out of the lodge. Once I finally committed to being outside of the lodge, then my ancestors came through and they said, listen, your people have been, and they were talking about my ancestry in particular. And they took me to a time when I and my ancestors were thrown into a mass grave. So trigger warning, ancestral stuff. We're thrown into a mass grave and buried. No distinction. No honor, no dignity, no ceremony. And they took me to a time, it's like, now I don't have soul memory of this, but on one of my ayahuasca journeys, I was on a slave ship crossing. You know, if you know anything about ayahuasca, you don't forget these experiences. I remember very vividly my experience on this slave ship. So yesterday at the lodge, I was really present too, because I kept asking Spirit, why can't I breathe in the lodge? Why do I have to get out of the lodge? Usually I'm a G in a lodge. Like, I'm sitting there, I'll sweat, I'm down in the coals, like I'm good, you know. Yesterday I was really could not breathe, and not only could I not breathe, I could not sit in the lodge. I had to get up. Asked for the door twice. Not like me. And the second time, I said, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay outside. So anyway, the ancestors said, listen, your soul has gotten to a point where it has ascended beyond this experience. And I said, what are you talking about? The experience of being buried. So my whole life, I have loved to be in small, dark, confined spaces. I love it. My whole life, that has felt safe for me, comfortable for me. For the first time in my life, in over 4 decades of being here, this lifetime, I felt claustrophobic. This is what claustrophobia feels like. Oh my God, that's crazy. I've never felt this before. So I came to my lodge and said, what am I feeling? Why do I feel this way? I've never felt this before. And my ancestors told me it's because my soul was so used to being buried in mass graves, so used to being below decks on a slave ship, so used to being buried, so used to being hidden, so used to being in the dark, so used to being confined, constricted, constrained. But in this lifetime, I've cleared all of that karmic debt. And I meant what I said. You know, I'm 4.5 decades into this lifetime experience. I've done a shit ton of work. I've cleared all that karmic debt. I've given my soul the space to rise into true freedom. And I mean to tell you that I have experience of leaving the prison planet. You know, like I am aware of my soul leaving Saturn, looking back and saying, oh, that's Saturn. My soul was in prison. My spirit was in jail, and now I'm free. And so now that I'm free, nothing about me wants to experience being buried again. And so the lodge represented for me yesterday this opportunity to be buried for a time of release. And in that moment of coming outside the lodge and listening to my ancestors, I got all the times they've been trying to tell me my whole life that I was buried. And why do you think you weren't upset about being in small, tight places? It was familiar for you. It felt safe because your soul was buried. Your spirit was buried. So anytime you found yourself in a closet or under a bed, it felt natural, it felt normal, it felt safe for you. But now that your spirit has ascended, now that you're free, none of this feels natural for you. None of this feels safe for you. And I was like, holy shit. You know, because my whole life I've been someone who is not claustrophobic. Everybody else is crying about a crawl space, or, you know, I've been under so many homes in a crawl space. I've been in so many tight spaces because it really wasn't a big deal for me until yesterday. So I'm sharing that with you primarily because I feel like this is where I'm meant to share my experience. And again, I shared a little bit with the sweat leader yesterday, but not too much because it wasn't meant to be shared there. I think it's meant to be shared here. I'm very excited about this reading. Very excited about bringing this message to you. I don't know what's going to come out, but I know that I was meant to share and I just shared. It's quite warm out here to have water. All that being said, let's get it. Holy Spirit, Archangels, Ascended Masters, Ancestors, those who walk with me every day, thank you for protecting me as I channel messages for my tribe. For showing me what I need to see, telling me what I need to know, so I can support the tribe as we live, learn, thrive, and grow, as above, so below, and so it is because it is so. So you guys, there's a lot happening in my world over here. This past ceremony was so huge, like a lot of shifts and changes. I am going to hazard a guess. If you're in this tribe, you are also going through some type of transitional and or liminal space. Okay? Let's see what Spirit has for us today. 3 cards, we'll take them. 2 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 3 of Cups. So, the focus on being rejected from a group. Qui est sensei? Who are we talking about? Qui est là? Qui est là? Qui est sensei? The Fool. Okay, so it's like focusing on you've been rejected from a group, no longer a part of a certain group, but there's a new beginning here because you're not a part of a group. That's really interesting. I feel like this is reminiscent of something I did recently. Let's transmute that energy. 2 of Pentacles. So now we have to rebalance, we have to prioritize. Because it's 3 of Cups, they were not your people. Okay. And 2 of Page of Pentacles. So death is a transformation, it's a shift, it's a change. Page of Pentacles is a new opportunity. Curious about, if I take Page of Pentacles is curious about what will happen if I take this next step. Okay, so maybe whatever you were entertaining in the past had you not moving forward, but doing the same thing. I'm seeing like a loop. I'm seeing like it was familiar. Like me being in Sweat Lodge, being comfortable with the small, dark, hot space because my spirit was buried. So Sweat Lodge felt like it's fine. But now that my spirit is free, my soul is free, Sweat Lodge is like, what? What are you saying? Don't take this as it resonates. 4 of Swords in the world. Something's come to a complete end. And there's no coming back from it. There's no redos or part 2s. The world of the 4 of Swords is like a finale. It is. So whatever this is, okay, so whatever this group was that you, I'm hearing walked away from, turned your back on, it was a cycle you were going through. It was a karmic loop and you completed it. You finished it. That cycle is complete. And so now there's no going back. Like you won't be that person again. You may see those people again, but you won't respond to them the same way. Like you won't interact with them the same way because you're not the same person. They might be, but you're not. Page of Swords. Opportunity for you to try some things that you've always been thinking about, wondering about, like What would happen if I did this? That's how that reads. Guys, it's crazy. The Star, Judgment, Six of Swords. Yeah, coming after this Knight of Swords, Five of Wands, there are people, more than one, who are quickly trying to constrain your energy. Like, where are you going so fast? They don't understand. You've already wished upon a star, and this is your judgment. Whatever you're asking the universe for, the universe is providing. There's nothing anybody can do about that. You're leaving, you're moving on, you're moving up, you're ascending. That's really the message today. Your soul has ascended, your spirit has evolved. And so the same old group isn't going to relate to you the same anymore. You're not going to feel the same around them anymore, you know. And they feel some kind of way about that. But, you have new ways of connecting to other people and forging new connections. That's also part of the judgment. What are these cards? Oh my gosh, there's three. The Devil. Who's that? Who's that? Oh, that's Justice. Let's go ahead and pull her up. And she was poking her head up, wasn't she? She was like, I'm here, I'm here. Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck with the King of Pentacles. Look at that. Do you guys see how these cards are coming out? There's Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Can you see that? Over here we had Justice poking her head out. Coming with the Devil, the Strength, and the Seven of Swords. It's like overcoming blockages, overcoming challenges. But it's not like you announce to the world, hey guys, I figured out how to beat the devil. You just beat the devil and you keep moving. You've learned what you've learned, and now you're moving how you move. You're not explaining to anybody what you're doing or why. There's no complaints and there's no explanations. You're literally just being who you were created to be, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. Now, people are absolutely in their feelings about this, but what does that have to do with you? Nothing. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Eight of Swords. Yeah, there's some type of limiting belief that you've left behind, and in doing so, you've left a lot of people behind as well. People who are sharing in that limiting belief. This is 10 of Cups. That's what I thought. I was like, what you thought was going to make you happy is not what actually makes you happy. And you discover that for yourself. You know, and now you're focused in the right direction. Now you're focused on what's actually coming in for you, because it's what you want. That 3-1 touches the judgment. In the past, you were struggling because you were trying to manifest what other people wanted. You hadn't yet accepted that what you want is different from what other people want. Now you've accepted that. So now you can manifest what's good for you, not what's for somebody else. Final messages, please. Oh yeah, my battery's at 10%. Final messages. Final messages. Is that a bee? That is a bee. That's a bumblebee. Oh. I got some new plants. We'll talk about that later. Page of Wands. See, now that you've manifested what you like. Now you can manifest what you want. 3 of Wands, Page of Wands. The past is in the past. It's water. It's not even iced water. It's just water. And the past is in the past. Give me one more and I'm out of here. The past is in the past. You now have the opportunity to focus on what's in front of you, what actually works for you, what you want. Not what somebody else wants, not what somebody else tells you you should want, what you actually want. And what you want is likely, according to these cards, likely not traditional. It's likely not par for the course, as we would say. Apparently you want something different. Whatever it is that you want, though, you've been keeping it to yourself. The moon and the 7 of Swords out here. Nobody knows what you want but you. I love that. Where other people are confused, you are clear. Whether people are in doubt, you are not. Because it's about you and what you want. Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. I feel like that's the message. I hope it resonated with y'all. Go ahead and hit that like button. If it resonated, drop me a black heart emoji in the comment section below so I will know. Please hype up the video. The shapelifter told me you guys can't hype up my videos. What is that about? I'm going to check with YouTube. I don't know why you can't hype my videos, but please continue to try to hype my videos, please. And turn on your post notifications so the next time I drop a read, it shows up in your feed. This reading is timeless. So the next time, this reading is timeless. So whenever you find it, take what resonates and leave the rest behind. This is a really good reading. And it's not for everybody. So in between now and the next time I do drop a reading, trust your path, your process, and your purpose. Peace.